Founded in 1857, Sheffield Football Club are the world's oldest football team and the founding fathers of the modern laws. The game is often traced back to English public schools and to the wild, unruly contests between villages. In fact, Sheffield and Norton contested the oldest match on record, playing each other over 3 days, and while injuries were suffered on both sides, reports from the time cheerfully recognised that the game finished without any fatalities. Clearly, some codification was required. Sheffield FC was the root of that change. The club was founded by Nathaniel Cressick and William Prest, both local cricketers searching for the means to stay fit during the winter months, and at the club's first annual general meeting in October 1857, they presented the first edition of what would become known as the Sheffield Rules. Contained within that original draft were many staples of the contemporary game, including free kicks, throw-ins, and the contemporary version of the kick-off. Originally, games were played internally between the club's members, pitting players with surnames beginning with letters from the first half of the alphabet against those from the second. But in December 1858, the club played their first external game, against a side from a local army regiment. A year later, Sheffield would play the world's first inter-club game, beating the newly formed Hallam FC 2-0. By the time the Football Association was formed in 1863, Sheffield had devised and produced several revisions of its book. It sent 4 representatives to that inaugural meeting, and by December of that year had become an FA member itself. The compromise between the Sheffield rules and the FA's own regulations, from where the offside rule originates, would become the foundation of association football as it exists today. For the next decade, 2 opposing football cultures existed in England, London and Sheffield. While the latter's influence started to decline by the early 1880s, placed under duress by financial difficulties and a growing appetite for professionalism, and law-making primacy would eventually be held by the International Football Association Board, where it remains to this day, the bulk of those formative laws were shaped in Sheffield by Cressick and Prest. In 2007, the club celebrated its 150th anniversary with friendlies against Inter Milan and Ajax at the Bramall Lane, with Sir Bobby Robson and Sir Bobby Charlton attending a commemorative dinner, and Brazilian icon Pelé opening a special exhibition containing an original handwritten copy of the Sheffield Rules. The present day finds the team in the Northern Premier League, the 15th tier of the game, and playing their home games in Dronfield, 6 miles outside of Sheffield. Nevertheless, the club retains a determination to serve its original purpose and remains fiercely proud of its amateur status. As well as competing in domestic league and cup fixtures, it also maintains a range of local fitness, educational and social initiatives, both in the Sheffield community and surrounding community, and regularly plays exhibition games under the original rules. The club has been attempting to return to its original home at Olive Grove for some time. Originally, it had been hoped that England's bid for the 2018 World Cup would free funding grants which would enable the construction of a new 10,000 capacity ground. Unfortunately, FIFA awarded the tournament to Russia. However, in 2015, the club, under current chairman Richard Timms, began a crowdfunding initiative to secure the move. Having been granted a free land lease by Sheffield Council, the ambition now is to build a new ground and to develop a new history centre and museum which properly represents the past, is a fitting home for the game's heritage, and which would also place the club within reach of far superior transport links and be close to Sheffield city centre.